So are you a founder that meets the ideal LeapSheep customer profile? Well, at LeapSheep, we support founders anywhere from having an idea to those that have achieved product market fit. Now, it's really important that you have a disciplined definition of what product market fit means, because we're meeting founders every day that believe they've reached product market fit when actually they haven't. And that just makes building their business and scaling it up incredibly difficult. And it really makes them susceptible to startup failure. So it's important that you have a disciplined definition. A good definition is if you've got existing paying customers who are advocates that are recruiting more leads for you and helping you turn those leads into more paying customers, which creates the viral positive feedback loop that drives hockey stick growth. If you've reached that point, you've reached product market fit. If you haven't reached that point, then you probably haven't reached product market fit. A useful rule of thumb is if you have been in business for less than 5 years or you're below $3 million in revenue, you probably haven't reached product market fit. Now, every startup is different. So it's really important that we have a conversation to see whether we're a fit for you. But in terms of the types of startups that are ideal within this journey from idea to product market fit, there's a couple of categories that really stand out for us. The first category is those startups that really haven't started yet, or they're just an idea. We're constantly meeting founders that are some way into their journey, believing they're not yet ready for support. But strangely, they've spent a lot of resources and a lot of time getting ready for the support. And often that can equate to tens of thousands of dollars and maybe a couple of years. And so the earlier we can have a conversation, you may not be ready for support, but at least we can give you some advice and guidance and some tips to really get you pointed in the right direction to make use of every minute and every dollar that you have access to get you on your way to success and product market fit. So it's never too early to come and speak to LeapSheep. Secondly, we see a category of founders that are on the journey, on their way. These could be founders that have a business plan and a pitch and want to raise capital. You could have already built a product and are looking for support and guidance to figure out how to launch that product into the market. Or you may already have a product in market and you're not growing at the pace that you want. If you fit into any of these categories, what you probably find is that you're finding a real struggle to get access to really high quality advice and guidance around building startup companies, because most of that really high quality advice and guidance is locked up in competitive entry business models, things like top tier VC firms, top tier accelerator programs, and top tier venture studios. Or you may not want to access any of those things because you want to bootstrap your company. If you fit into any of those categories, then LeapSheep is probably an ideal solution for you. Apart from just where you are on the journey, the other element to being a great fit for LeapSheep is mindset. And there are really 3 key mindsets that we look for to make sure that you're going to have a great customer experience and really succeed as being a LeapSheep subscriber. The first of those is having a growth mindset. Now, as a early stage company, you're going to have far less resources at your disposal, and those resources are going to have to do all kinds of different tasks, including yourself. And so being willing to take on any task that gets thrown at you, maybe that's outside of your comfort zone, is a really important aspect of having a growth mindset. The other aspect of having a growth mindset that's really important that we see all the time is people that may have prior career experience. They've developed skills and experience that have served them really well in that prior career, and they want to bring that experience into their startup. And sometimes we challenge some of the approaches that they take as not appropriate for the startup. A really obvious example is doing things to a really high level of quality because that's what you're used to of doing in a previous role. When you do that in a startup, if you don't understand what quality is, which is so often in the early stages of a startup, you're really trying to figure out what do customers really want, what do they really value. Maybe they've told you what they want, but have they shown it to you through their behavior and repurchasing behavior? So it's much more important in a startup to make progress over perfection and show less than ideal outputs so that you can get feedback quicker and make course corrections and not waste time and capital chasing perfection that customers don't want. So it's really important that you have that mindset and willing to take on board that feedback of doing new things and dropping old behaviors. Second is a capacity for action. It's important to prioritize doing things, because if you're going to be successful, then there's going to be a lot of hard work required to do many iterations, learn from those iterations, and build the next round, the next round, and the next round. And we're a little bit like a Olympic coaching team, where it's really up to you to do the work. We're just going to make sure that you, when you do that work, you do it as efficiently and effectively as possible, and you don't waste any time on things that are not important. You're not going to waste resources, and you're not going to waste time, and you're going to manage the most important risks when it comes to building a startup. The other aspect to this is making sure that you're willing to take on the kind of approaches that we suggest. So we have a very opinionated framework for how to build startups based on proven best practice from our Startup Builder body of knowledge. And we quite often find that that conflicts and is contrarian with either the founder's worldview or the support system around founders. A really good example of that is we're constantly having conversations around founders and their team going back and doing user research. And quite often we get pushback from founders that may be in the industry that they're solving the problem for and say, I've spent my entire career solving this problem. Why would I need to do user research? Or you may have a product and paying customers. And again, the question can come, why would I do user research when I've got paying customers? And you may have support ecosystem around you that might be encouraging you to spend more time and energy on marketing and sales and trying to scale the business. The reason we provide the advice and guidance that we do is because it's based on world-class diagnostics and proven best practices from watching and learning and researching from successful startups and working with hundreds of startups ourselves. So if you're not willing to take on our advice, even if it feels a little bit contrarian, then you're not going to get the benefit from us and you're not going to get the output. So it's probably not going to be a great experience for you. The third is looking for long-term partnerships. There are no silver bullets when it comes to building companies. Some companies are very lucky and are able to be successful very quickly, but the only formula to be successful is a formula of iterative attempts, where each attempt you learn and you make course corrections, and you learn and you make course corrections. And so if you want success and you're committed to success, you have to be in it for the long term and be willing to do those iterations. And so it's really important that you're looking for long-term partnerships that are going to get you there and over the line to success, and not looking for a quick fix or a short program that's going to perform miracles, because that is not going to be a good fit for us either. So hopefully that gives you a really clear picture of who is the ideal founder to work with LeapSheep.